my heart. Seems I've been living in the temple of the dog. Where would I live if I were a man of golden words? Or would I live at all? Yeah. Words and music, communication. On her arrival, I will set free the birds. It's a pretty time of year where the mountains sing out loud. Tell me, Mr. Golden Words, how's about the world? Tell me, can you tell me at all? Yeah. Words and music, communication. Let's fall in love with music, the driving force in our living, the only international language, divine glory, the expression. The knees bow, the tongue confesses. The Lord of Lords, the King of Kings. King of Kings. Words and music. Communication. Let's fall in love with music, the driving force in our living, the only international language, divine glory, the expression. The knees bow, the tongue confesses. The Lord of Lords, the King of Kings. King of Kings. Words and music. Communication. Welcome to another episode of the Apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I am that guide. Your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you again. It seems Donny was not joking when he said he wanted to be Pope, because he's hinting at it again. And if you call posting a picture of himself in full Pope dress hinting at it, then Donny's really hinting at it. I couldn't believe it. I was going to take the night off, and then I saw that at the end of the day. And that told me the show must go on. Anyway, it starts off with this headline: Trump renews threat to revoke Harvard's tax-exempt status. So, you know, the battle that's really going to make all of our lives better, the battle between the Antichrist and a college, I'm sure that's going to do a lot of good for us. It really will. Right, Rubes? It's going to put more money in your pocket. It's going to get your trading partners back, right, Rubes? Donnie's little feud with Harvard because they wouldn't let his son in or some shit. And because they need to demonize academia, journalism, authorities, the same as their daddy did. Adolf Hitler, you heard of that guy? He did all the same things. Everything you're seeing on your television is pure Hitler. That's all you're seeing. Softening us up to get us to that full Reich moment. That's coming soon, I'm sure. Because they're getting real tired of this bullshit, and they don't have a lot of time. So the fight with Harvard still goes on, of course, because that's real important. This I saw early in the day today. Now, if I were to show this picture out on the street to various people, I would say, are they worshiping Jesus, sir? Or are they worshiping Donnie? Because the picture I'm seeing of that gentleman, whoever the fuck that abomination is that's kneeling there, kneeling for another abomination that's sitting there in orange face, that sure looks to me like Donnie worship. And again, I've been telling you people for months, that's where all this goes. He wants you to worship him. You're seeing that come more and more to the forefront as the days go by. The round table meetings with the Reich in the morning are getting more and more obviously just exercises in praising dear leader. Like Vlad likes to be praised. Like Kim Jong-un likes to be praised. Or Il, or whoever's fucking in charge now. Same thing. But this guy is even higher than them. Needs it more. Why? Because he's the Antichrist. And I'm sorry, son, if this don't give you a little chill up your spine, I don't know what will. This picture was intentional, by the way. You were meant to see this. This wasn't an accident that this got photographed. Son. You were meant to see this. This is his desire and their desire to make this more normal. Because every fake Christian in this picture that just got done singing Amazing Grace or whatever, horribly, by the way, because they don't have the spirit in them, son. They just faking the funk. To maintain power, that's what the right wing has done in this country. They've equated themselves to the church somehow. And the church went right the fuck along. Because, I don't know, looking for a pastor that's speaking out against this or a church is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. There ain't many doing it, son. Why? Because they don't care about Jesus Christ. They care about maintaining their status and power in this shitbird society you see before you. That's why they align with devils. That's why they align with the literal Antichrist. They don't give a fuck. As long as they stay in power, as long as they keep their nice house, as long as they keep their sway over the masses, as long as the Christian industry gets to stay a thing, they cool with it. I'm not part of the Christian industry, by the way. Because it's mostly people like you see here. Motherfuckers faking the funk who put their name on the literal Antichrist, and every single person that doubts it thinks I'm crazy. These people, they think they're on the right side. You think you're on the right side of it, son? You out there watching this with your name on it? You are not. And you will learn that the hardest of fucking hard ways. And the real point I was trying to make is, in the end, we all going to be standing there. You're going to see me again. And everyone's going to be standing there realizing who was right and who was wrong. This is what you have your name on. Alleged Christians kneeling before Caesar, worshiping Caesar. Donnie said he'd like to be the Pope right in front of the press. His name was the first name that came to mind. I'd like to be Pope, he said. Then Lindsey Graham co-signed it. Now we've got scenes like this where fake Christians are singing Amazing Grace and praying over Donnie, and this person's literally kneeling in front of him. And I know what they'll say. I was kneeling in prayer to Jesus to bless the president and blah, blah, blah. No, you wasn't, son. And you know why I'm yelling? Because that anger up there is getting channeled down here right now. And if you think I sound crazy mad, wait till you see the man. What he gonna say, the countenance of the man. I'm nothing in comparison, son. You think I'm wild, crazy, loud, blunt? Wait till you see the man, son, and that's what I'm talking about. All this fakery bullshit designed to start a Reich and an Antichrist beast system so we worship an orange-faced fucking mobster with shit in his diaper. We all gonna be standing there at the end. All these people that thought it was so fucking funny, and you people out there, and me. And we're all gonna come to that realization at the same time. Who was right and who was wrong, and what it's gonna cost you. That's gonna be a hard moment for so many people. I pity you. As you laugh and mock now, as you troll and bot now, I pity you. Because it's just like Christ said, forgive them, they know not what they do. Why? Because they're stupid fucking little children, that's why. Unfortunately, co-signing this, putting your name on this abject fucking evil, the literal Antichrist, that's going to cost you. And you can't just repent it away after you take that mark. It's over for you. So right now you just have your name on it. Eventually you're going to have your soul on it. That's if you decide to go that route and don't see the horrors and turn the other way. You have a short time to turn away. I suggest you take that opportunity and do not take part in abominations like this. Because again, you were meant to see this, son. So was I. Because they want worship in Donnie to be the norm. That's not normal, that's supernatural. Just like in Nero's day, that wasn't normal, that's supernatural. Just like in Adolf Hitler's day, that was not normal, that was supernatural. A level of evil you can't understand. Nero, Adolf, Donnie. Going to be the worst one of all. This is a portent of things to come. This is what you will be doing. I'm glad I just thought of this. This is why I talk so much sometimes. It makes me think of things. When you take the mark, this is what you will be doing. Kneeling before Donnie and saying he's God. That's what you'll be doing. You'll be worshiping that orange thing sitting there. This is a great illustration of what you will be doing if you take that mark. Hitler used tariffs to liberate Germany, that's in quotes, from a globalized world order careening the economy backwards. Timothy W. Ryback writes, this is from The Atlantic. Shout out to Big Jeff Goldberg. He's the fucking man. He didn't write this, but he's still the fucking man. Nothing gets done. Nothing gets through without Jeff Goldberg's say. So you might as well not even write anything till Jeff says it's okay. And you definitely ain't publishing it till Jeff says it's okay. So we have a straight up, more than similarity, we have a parallel. We have the same words being used, globalized world order. Back then, Alex Jones, all those people, all they've been doing is this playbook right here, using words that worked back then. It's all recycled bullshit. So Hitler made the same fucking argument. Globalized world order. We need to liberate Germany from that. And how are we going to do that? By gassing people and stealing from our neighbors and raping and pillaging and blitzkrieging across Europe. That's how we're going to make Germany great again. So how do you think they're going to make America great again? Once Donnie tanks our economy and we're in the shitter like Germany was right before World War II. Same way. So what Hitler did is he fucked up the economy. The tariffs were probably a grift, just like they're a grift for Donnie. So Hitler can just put his hand right in the treasury till of Germany. That's why he liked tariffs so much. That's why Donnie liked tariffs so much. Plus, they want to realign trading partners and alliances. Donnie's using the trade issue to do that as well. That was intentional, to alienate all our trading partners and our alliances and realign with North Korea, Russia, Saudi Arabia, places like that. Those are our allies now, if you can call them allies. That's not good for us. So the little trade war had another, agenda mixed in there besides a grift. This was all intentional to bring Vlad's position in the world back up, everybody else is down, and ours included, down. That's the plan. And boy, is it working great. So we've got tariffs just like Hitler did, and it was designed to, liberate us. And all it did was cost the market 10 trillion. It's still only at 41,000, son. The Reich is, clapping and laughing because it gained 500 points today. We still ain't back to where it was when Biden was president. There's still 10 trillion gone. Nothing to celebrate here. And they act like that's a victory or something. No, you did that. You ruined the economy and you brought it back up 500 points. I'm supposed to be proud of you now? No, I don't fall for these games that he pulls, where he creates the problem and then comes in to save the day. And he really doesn't save the day. He just kind of, a little bit saves the day. People made a little bit of their money back. Still 4,000 points missing on that Dow, son. Where'd they go? Oh, they went in Donnie Shitbag's diaper. That's where they fucking went. Anyway, I digress too much. After freezing $2.2 billion in grants, President Trump is revoking Harvard's tax-exempt status. So Donnie's going to go ahead and do it. Maybe we should hit some of those mega churches that are grifting like a motherfucker too. Maybe we should hit them with taxes. Nah, that's not a good idea. Of course it is. Because the war is against academia. It's rubery and lies against truth and academia. Just like in Hitler's day, same thing. Hitler's war was with the truth. He needed to kill the truth, and he did. That's why he succeeded to a degree. Donnie's war, Miller's war, Hegseth, all of them, their real war is against the truth, reality. It's like the novel 1984. What was it? 1 + 1 is 3 or 2 + 2 is 5. And it wasn't about making you believe that. It was about making you repeat that as truth via fear. The fear you get picked up one day and taken to a torture chamber. That's what they did in that book. People got grabbed. And they either got reprogrammed or never seen again. And in the end of the book, it basically explains 2 + 2 is 5. And you're going to believe that, or you're going to say that, you're going to repeat it. Why are you doing this to everybody? Because we can. That's what you're living in. And it's going to get worse every day. That's why the war against academia. I mean, again, it's a standard Nazi playbook. They demonize the press. They demonize the authorities. They demonize academia and science. Same exact playbook. And if you rubes would have studied history and cared about it, and cared about yourselves, and cared about your children's futures, and cared about your country, you would have put that knowledge into action and recognized this movement for what it is, the Thale, Miller, Leon Scum, Donnie movement. And it's more than a Nazi movement. I wish it was only that. I really do. But it's not. You're within the story called Revelation right now. And he's the Antichrist on top of it. Satan's best disciple. Prophesied thousands of years ago. You're in that right now. On top of all the Nazi bullshit. So this is just bad on top of bad, on top of bad, on top of bad. And it's even pissing me off. Because I'm asking the heavens, like, can we get something good, son? Well, I can't really call him son, but you know what I'm saying. Can we get something good? Why must the world suffer evil upon evil upon evil? I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's necessary. I have my own problems with this whole thing. But I'm in it. I'm not in charge. I know who's in charge. And I know what's going on. Textbook Nazism, textbook Satanism, not the kind you see on TV, son. Much worse. Here's Donnie again on Harvard. We are going to be taking away Harvard's tax-exempt status. It's what they deserve. No, it's not what they deserve. Again, this is a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, fraud, defamer, stole 3,000 classified documents, tried to overthrow the government. Who is he to tell anybody what someone deserves as a punishment? He should be in 8 prisons. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to have this man of sin as the Pope. The literal man of sin. The Antichrist. Attacking a college. Because that's what the Nazis did. That's how they got control. Shook everyone's faith in everything but them. So yeah, it's not what they deserve. Donnie deserves to be in prison, honestly, for his many plethora of crimes that we know about. Yet he's, fighting colleges and taking their tax-exempt status away. I have a feeling Harvard's going to be just fine with this, though, because, the money that comes into that place is ridiculous. But the Antichrist has an agenda. He really hates women and he hates all minorities. And guess who else falls under minorities? Christians and Jewish people, the real ones. They're going to be on the list at the end. But what we're seeing, demonizing colleges, the press, the authorities, classic Nazi textbook, authoritarian shit. And you all fall for it. And by you all, I mean the ones that have their name on it. And that's why you don't have a country anymore, son. I'm sorry to break that to you. Oh, Big Balls. Remember this fucking sociopath? Yeah, I showed you guys all the pictures of the entire Doge team many times. This is one of the main sociopaths. He's like one of the star sociopaths. Straight out of high school, protected like pedophiles online from their identity being found. He ran a service that you could pay him to do that. Great guy. Great guy. Really well-adjusted individual. Doesn't he look well-adjusted to you? I don't see sociopath on that face at all. Do you? So he was on primetime Fox News the other night. Big Balls roots out fraud and waste. That is a banner on the news channel you watch. Did you see that? Would you like to see that again? Look at the banner. That's the program you're watching. That's what you take seriously. That's why you don't have a country, son. That's the Hitler Youth you got your name on. That dismantled everything, looted everything, and stole all your info and shared it with the Russians. We have evidence now. I'm going to talk more about this. In addition to be a child with no skills in auditing, fraud, or waste, he is actually famous as a leaker at a cybersecurity company. But he adores Elon, so he's good to go. And now he's primetime. Since Elon's out, who's the main sociopath? I always knew it was this kid. I knew he'd be the star. And they're proving me right. Now that Leon can't show his face too much, He's despised by the entire fucking world. This kid, they're rolling him out. And some of the other team members. We'll talk more about him. I gave you his background before. We'll talk more about it. This is Vindman because, Alexander Vindman, because Donnie put this comment out today. He wants to change Veterans Day or something. Many of our allies and friends are celebrating May 8th as Victory Day, but we did more than any other country by far in producing a victorious result in World War II. I am hereby renaming May 8th as Victory Day for World War II and November 11th as Victory Day for World War I. Now, I believe Russia has May 8th as one of the dates that they celebrate because that's when they got out of the war, but we were fighting Japan as well. And that lasted a little longer. So there was more war to fight for the Americans. So Donnie's forgetting about all that. He doesn't care about that. And he wants to change these days and he wants to align them with Russia's celebrations. That's obvious what's going on. I also don't know if you noticed, there's a piece of scripture that talks about this thing that changes the feast days. And I always wondered how that would work because I assumed that he would change Jewish feast days that mostly Jews celebrate the Antichrist when I pondered this action. But Donnie did something right at the beginning for the military. He changed all the observances for many different holidays and celebrations and observances. One of them was Holocaust Remembrance Day. There was about 8-9 things. If it had to do with like Martin Luther King or a woman's celebration of a woman or celebration of or observance of remembering a horrid tragedy that happened to Jewish people, those are not allowed to be celebrated by the military in any way anymore. That's one of the first things he did. Now he's doing this. He's changing other holidays. What are holidays really? Well, they're days off and they're feast days. They're days people get together, have a barbecue, eat a meal, whatever. So I personally wonder if that changing of the military celebrations and this changing and maybe future holidays that he'll change are the fulfillment of that scripture. He's already done it. He's changed a bunch of observances. So I'm wondering if that's the fulfillment of that. I'm sure there's more observances or feast days that he will change. This is the Atlantic again. MAGA influencers are being offered access to the White House, the perfect backdrop for any viral video, and the heady sense of being insiders. In return, all they have to do is ask questions that would make a Soviet propagandist blush indeed. See, these acts we're seeing by Tim Pool and others in the media chair in the White House, I mean, there's such bold-faced propaganda type statements and questions. They ask Miss Levitt, it's hard to watch. It's so cringe and obvious. It's not even watchable. That that new thing Miss Levitt did where she stands alone at the podium and has like the 3 influencers that no one fucking cares about, asking questions in this dim kind of lighted setting was very strange. And again, I told you, it reminded me of like the Empire if they were to have a press conference in the Star Wars movies. It reminded me of that kind of atmosphere. And I don't know if you noticed, the Empire was based on Nazi Germany. It's kind of obvious by the uniforms and the whole thing. So that's what Miss Levitt's most recent activity with these media people, some of them abject shills, paid shills for Russia like Tim Pool. He's not the only one, though, that's been invited. Again, yeah, these people get invited. They get to have their fucking video with their, couple million bot followers that Russia paid for, that the websites all know are operating. Look at how many bots they allow on my fucking videos. And I have no reach. I don't even know why you bots waste your time. 20, 30,000 of them. But whatever. I guess I must be that dangerous. Dangerous to Satan, that is. That's what I mean. So yes, all the media people have to do, and that's media in quotes because they're all shills for some financier that has nefarious ideas about this country. All you have to do is leave your dignity at the door and ask the propaganda question in the new media seats, and you're good. You get your video, it goes viral, you look like you have access, even though you're a worthless waste of oxygen that's not doing any real reporting. You're just shilling for a Nazi Reich. Again, you saw the Hitler salute, right? I didn't tell Leon to do it. Leon did it. That should tell you what this is about then, son, shouldn't it? Oklahoma is going to require their schools to lie to their kids that the 2020 election was tainted by fraud. So now we have election denial being taught to children in Rubas, Oklahoma. And this is Judd Legume. Next school year, thousands of high school students in Oklahoma will be required to learn about Trump's debunked claims that the 2020 election was tainted by fraud. The lesson will not be part of a course on conspiracy theories, but an official component of the new social studies curriculum. Propaganda. Rewriting of the history books. What did I tell you, people? I've been telling you this since it happened. January 6th, the attempt to overthrow the government by Donnie and his people. I told you, they can't have that in the history books. I've been saying this for years. They cannot have in the history books that 85% of the Republican Party and a mob of Republicans sent by a Republican president tried to overthrow the government. They cannot have that in history books. And I knew we'd get to this point where they're teaching children the opposite. And they're rewarding terrorists' families. And they're rewarding people that say the N-word in public. You see where this is going? And all the terrorists that tried to overthrow our government, they all got a pardon. Actual criminals. Actual terrorists. Donnie's an actual terrorist. Donnie didn't see 1 minute in jail. How many of you did? But then you got your pardon. They're talking reparations for terrorists against this nation. Can't do reparations for black people. That'd be, oh, no, we can't do that. People get real mad about that, don't they? But we can do reparations for fucking terrorists that tried to overthrow our government. Literal terrorists. We can give the presidency back to a literal terrorist. You're all traitors that have your name on this. You know that, right? Doesn't matter whether you like me or not. You're still a fucking traitor. And there's no getting out of that. Because Donnie's a terrorist. Every person that tried to overthrow the government that day is a terrorist. Legally. Now we're going to teach that the terrorists were the good guys and the election was stolen from Donnie. We're going to give pardons to that already happened, pardons to all the J6 people. We're probably going to eventually give them more of your tax money in the form of reparations. We're giving the family of the woman that died, we're going to give them $30 million of your money, not Donnie's money. Again, I told you for years, they cannot have it in the history books that 85% of the Republican Party tried to overthrow the government and a Republican president tried to overthrow the government and has been a Russian asset since 1987. They cannot have this shit in the history books. They cannot have kids 50, 100 years from now, reading how Mitch McConnell's a traitor, Donnie Shitbag's a traitor, J.D. Vance is a traitor. They can't have any children reading that. That's why we're going to get, again, the AI teachers and all that. They need to rewrite history because the Republican Party has been traitors for many years now, many of them taking Russian money. They can't have that in history books. They're doing it now. I told you for years they would do that. This is exactly what your CEO wanted, and I believe this guy is the CEO of GameStop. His name is Ryan Cohen. And the reason Matt Binder is saying that is because Ryan Cohen over the years has put all kind of posts like this up. Trump has now won 3 elections in a row. I bet Joe Biden is voting for Donald Trump. Trump is the shit. Donald Trump. Very creative stuff, by the way. This guy's a genius. Trump 2024. Trump 2024. And then he wrote, and this post just Trump about 100 times. And then Trump 2024. These are all separate posts from 2024. Now, here's what's happening to GameStop as a result of this guy loving Donnie Shitbag so much. As of May 1st, we have adjusted recommended retailer pricing for our consoles and controllers worldwide. We also expect to adjust the pricing of some of our new first-party games starting this holiday season to $79.99. We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. No, it's market conditions. Come on, let's be honest. The rising cost of development, yeah, parts from places where there's tariffs, so that's going to bring their costs of development up. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, the tariffs are fucking GameStop. Xbox Series S512, $379, up from $299. Xbox Series S1TB, $429, up from $349. Xbox Series X Digital, $549, up from $449. Xbox Series X, $599, up from $499. So add basically $100 or $80 to almost every product that they sell. And there's about 2, 4, 6, there's about 8 different products here, all with $80 to $100 added to them. So I guess that guy cheering for Donnie all them times and giving him his vote and being so excited about it, I wonder how excited he is now. And again, that's why we tried to warn you all, but the rich at the top, like Mr. what's his name? Cohen. What was it again? Ryan Cohen, Mr. Cohen. Again, we begged all the rich. I begged all the poor. I begged the rubes. I told you what was going to happen to your country. Do you want it to be Russia? Are you tough enough? Are you man enough? No, none of you are. Be CEO, low-level rube. None of you are tough enough for what's coming. I'm sorry. Let's continue. He got what he voted for, right? A 7.4 magnitude earthquake has hit off the coast of southern Chile. They had to evacuate people. They were worried about tsunamis and shit. 7.4, that's kind of big. And I'm just, keeping an eye on the earthquakes, volcanoes, stuff like that. All that stuff's supposed to be in the story as well. In the gospel itself, Jesus Christ, when he's asked, what happens at the end of the world, man? He says, yeah, none of this temple right here is going to be gone. That was, what? And that did happen. He also said there'll be earthquakes in diverse places. And I'm noticing the earthquakes start to tick up a little bit. But we've had moments in the past 20, 30 years where they did tick up a little bit. So I'm just keeping an eye on it, because it would just be further verification of what I feel is going on. And I feel you people should be keeping an eye on it. That plays a significant role in this end portion of time we're in. Natural disasters, earthquakes, volcanoes, and possibly a nuclear disaster. where very quickly 1/3 of everything is no longer useful on this planet. This was horrifying. And this isn't the best picture, I'm sorry. It was a video of a couple of scientists working with a tall black robot. The robot was painted black. And it was very tall. It was, taller than the humans working on it. And I don't know, someone hit a button or something, and this thing started karate chopping and trying to literally beat the fuck out of the one scientist. I was like, holy shit. And after I watched it a couple times in shock, awe, and horror, because this robot was going, with force, with power. It wasn't just, no, I'm talking flailing the arms. It kept flailing the arm at the one scientist. I'm like, is it going after him? What the fuck am I looking at here? Well, you saw the two scientists staying out of range of these flailing long robot arms. They had the robot attached to this kind of crane device. Something you'd lift an engine out of a car with or something in your garage. So the robot was tied to that, almost like a noose. I guess it was tied to the top of its head or something, a loop or something, to keep the thing upright. But man, they hit the button. I swear to you, the thing started moving forward and back, and it was karate chopping, and the arms were fucking flailing, and the scientist is staying away like this, and he's like inching around the robot, and then he gets to the crane, and he kind of pulls the crane back, and the robot finally just goes limp, and is just hanging from the crane. It was horrifying, and it's a perfect illustration for this. I know you science people, you scientists, you all think you're God. You think you know everything. You think you can control everything you create. You cannot. We've learned this the hard way how many times in this world. I'll just take nuclear disasters I'll use them as an example. Just think of how many nuclear disasters there's been, and there's been a lot. I've researched it. I know you haven't. I won't go into them all. That's one example of science thinking they can control something, and then the Frankenstein gets out of their control, and we could all possibly fucking die. And again, I'm not one of those people that hates science and thinks science is worthless, but science takes it too far sometimes. This AI thing will show us all that we've gone too far. Cloning, if we ever get to real cloning, will show us we went too far. This atomic thing that one day is going to make us all fucking extinct will show us that we went too far. There's other great achievements that science has wrought, and that's great. But science goes too far in some instances. This robot thing, okay, we're on the verge of a Terminator society. Do you realize? They got the robot dogs. They've got the robots. They're not the most stable robots like you see in Terminator, but they're robots nonetheless. And this one almost killed a couple motherfuckers. And I saw it on tape. And it looked like it wanted to kill these motherfuckers, by the way. It was violently flailing around. And it almost appeared to be going after the one scientist that was in front of it and to the right a little bit, with its karate chop arm that looked like it could fucking kill you. So what happened, right? That's a couple of scientists that made something. They've created something, a new creation. It got out of their control and almost killed one of them. It's the thing we see in all the sci-fi movies. In the Terminator movies, they flipped a switch for a supercomputer that becomes, exponentially smarter. And then the machines took over and just killed us all. Because who needs humans? What? For what? Just a logical choice, I guess. I just watched two scientists build a robot, test it out, and it almost killed them. Came after them. That could be the opening scene to fucking Terminator. Do you hear me? The movie could have started that way. Very easily. Because that's where the movie did start. Someone built a robot and gave it intelligence somehow. Same thing with this motherfucker. So do you realize we have AI-controlled drones, bots, all kinds of things, and they're going to take that further. Again, imagine what AI could do with drones, robots, robot dogs. You don't need humans anymore to police areas. Drones especially, that shit's just deadly. And you could have an AI control 100 drones, and when it spots the wrong things, it sends a drone and you're dead. It's not complex. They have the ability to already do that. Do you realize that? We already have that technology. Once they perfect the robots and now they've got AI to be the brain, oh my God. And this was a perfect example. Again, this tall, dark robot is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. How sometimes science goes too far. And this idea that the oligarchy and science has, where we need this new creation called artificial intelligence because, life ain't good enough yet. And we need robots and drones and all that. And guess what's going to be the brain for those things? That would be artificial intelligence. That could be broadcast. Again, the machine doesn't need a brain. The brain can be broadcast. This is where our society's going. Robots, AI, drones are already here. We're already at that moment where they can send one individual drone to kill one individual person in their house, outside their house, in a war zone. It doesn't matter. We're already there. Imagine putting AI in charge of that. They're already capable of doing that. Then you get these more sturdy robot bodies that actually work. That could be real bad for us. It could be used to police us. And a lot of them could accidentally kill people. Like this robot almost killed one of the fucking scientists. I posted this video earlier. You need to find this. Search this. Watch it. Because it's the first time where I really thought that robot could have killed somebody. I've seen other robots flip out, do backflips, do different things. I never saw one that I thought, oh my God, that thing almost killed the scientist. Like, I've never seen this. You need to watch this. Again, I posted it in the post section with the link so you could watch it, but it's many posts back. Search it for yourself. Maybe you could find it. Insane. Robots, the future, you say. That's what the commenter is saying. Exactly. I literally thought I was watching the beginning to, again, like the new Terminator movie or something. And this is like, way back in the past when we were developing the first robots. But it's reality. The thing tried to kill them. I'm not saying it did it intentionally. I'm just saying it did it. We're about 3 lines deep into the first They Came For poem. It's not a very long poem, folks. Indeed, and indeed, we are 3 lines deep. That means, again, we're probably about a little over waist deep in the Satanic Nazi fascist empire. Reich. And it's going to get worse. And we're already 3 lines in again. Oh, this is Trump on the left giving a speech years ago where he said he will never allow the IRS to be used as a political weapon. But then on the right, he's explaining how he's going to use the IRS as a political weapon against Harvard. So that's what this looks like, or this is what that looks like. That's Donnie giving his speech back in the day. Probably because they wanted his tax returns and he was still hiding them. That's probably what he was talking about, or it got weaponized against him. And then here's Donnie saying he's going to take away Harvard's tax-exempt status. Again, Donnie stands for nothing. It's whatever the wind blows, whatever's convenient for him, whatever helps the grift, whatever helps enslave you, whatever helps get your worship directed at him. And again, none of those things are jokes. I wish they were. I wish I was some crackpot crazy person. I really do. Because then so many people wouldn't, have to die under the hand of the Reich. If I was. It would be great for you people. It would be great for everybody. It'd be great for me. I wouldn't have to worry about being locked up in a gulag in El Salvador or Rwanda or wherever the Reich's going to go next. I might get locked in a padded cell, but I can live with that. What I can't live with is a satanic Nazi Reich. And again, I didn't do the Hitler salute. I'm not following the core tenets of Adolf Hitler as to dismantle a society, dismantle a democracy. They are. I don't hate women, they do. I don't hate minorities, they do. I'm not posting pictures of people kneeling in front of me, worshiping me. I'm not having goat statues made with $100 bills with my face that says, "In Nikki we trust." That's Donnie that has that. I'm not making commercials with gold statues of myself on the Holy Land. That's Donnie. I'm not the one saying I want to be Pope. That's Donnie. You get where I'm going with it? So who's the crazy one? That'll really fuck you up, right? Asking yourself that question with what I just told you. So Donnie, the abject hypocrite, as always. This was crazy. It reminded me of the movie The Birds. It's a Walmart, I don't know where, and just a million crows took over the parking lot, landed on people's cars, on the ground. The air is just filled with fucking crows. And here's what that looks like. There was a little short video showing it. They're everywhere. They're on the cars. They're in the air. They're on the ground. They've almost blotted out the damn sun. And I just jokingly said when I posted about it, it's the apocalypse. Look, the crows are attacking Walmart. It's probably just birds doing what birds do, gathering and then moving on to somewhere. I don't know what it was, why they were there. All I know is it looks dystopian. It looks crazy. It looks like the movie The Birds, except there's a Walmart. And then I thought about it. It's like a commentary on or a portent of what's going to come, what's going to befall, or what is befalling this consumerist empire. Because what else is America about but consumerism, right? We love buying shit that we don't need. We just do, because we have extra money. Richest country in the world, right? Why not? So I thought to myself, this blotting out of the sun by crows at a Walmart, it's like a portent of what's going to happen to this consumerist, greedy kind of society that we live in. I mean, it's the promise that was made from the beginning in this country. Come here, you get land, you get a house, you get wealth, you'll get rich. Come to the land of milk and honey. Come to America. That's been the American dream that we've sold. That's what we're about, unfortunately. That's what we've been selling. Not that America hasn't done some good things. but it's done some really bad things too. India's second child death from H5N1 bird flu confirmed in Andhra Pradesh. So you got 2 deaths from bird flu in India so far, and the death rate for bird flu in humans, I believe, is over 50%. So you don't want to get that. But it's not that easy to get, unless it mutates and becomes communicable between humans. You have to kind of be near the animal feces or something that has this contamination, or eat the food or eat the birds. It's hard to get right now, but if it mutates or something and becomes, again, communicable between humans, we got a problem if that happens. A real fucking problem. It'll make COVID look like a fucking joke. Let's put it that way. So I just keep you apprised of the measles, the bird flu, the zombie deer disease that's been slowly infecting more and more deer. And that goes through a thing called, or it's a thing called prions that causes it. It's not like a viral type thing. It's very fucked up. And only in the apocalypse would we be talking about zombie deer fucking disease, right? U.S. pulls out of formal peace talks between Ukraine and Russia. Well, they were going to do that from day one. We knew that. Everybody warned everybody before the election. If Donnie gets in, Ukraine is going to get abandoned. Well, they've put on a lot of theater. They've yelled at Zelensky, the couch fucker, Donnie. Now we're at the point where they're just abandoning talks. And we did sign a deal with Ukraine, a mineral deal, but it's heavily in Ukraine's favor, so I'm glad about that. Ukraine didn't really give up much at all, actually. So what does that tell you, and what does that tell me? That tells me Donnie really needs this man of peace credential. He covets it. That's why he's fake chastising Vlad in posts. Stop, Vladimir. You made me look stupid by attacking. And every time Donnie makes a proclamation like that Vlad's not going to attack or he needs to stop or whatever, Vlad immediately attacks, and usually it goes heavier than usual. Just again to show who's boss in this situation. And Donnie lets him do it, so we know who's boss. So I don't know what happens now with this. I just hope Europe and Canada and other places fill the void. And this myth that Europe and other countries have not been helping as much of America, that's a lie. They've actually given more than America. So even that's a lie. And America's the one that made the deal with Ukraine. We're going to help you if you give up your nuclear missiles in the future if Vlad ever attacks you. What are we doing now? We're reneging on that deal. We're betraying them, and we're aligning ourselves with Vlad. Well, we're not. Donnie and the Reich is. We just have to go along for the ride, unfortunately, because somehow he's president again. Back to big balls. The Doge Hitler Youth straight out of high school, total sociopath. Jim Stewartson knows a lot about these people, and me and him don't see eye to eye on every aspect of this. And I don't believe Jim's religious. I think I read about Jim not being very religious, but that doesn't make me like him any less or make his work any less valuable. He knows a lot about Thale and certain people that I did not know about until Thale's name started coming up. Anyway, what does Big Balls do? I'm working on some payment computer stuff. That's a quote. Teenage cyber criminal Edward Karstein has accessed all of our private information and now monitors and controls every dollar the U.S. government spends. What could go wrong? Karstein is a cyber criminal who was a member of the COM, that's C-O-M, a cyber stalking and hacking network that included 764, a satanic Nazi pedophile cult that extorts minors for illegal child sexual abuse material, CSAM. And again, Jim has put this information out for a while now, and no one's disputed it. And I don't hear no cease and desist coming about. I don't hear any lawsuits coming about. And I already knew this was a satanic Nazi thing, so it makes sense for this kid to be involved in that, wouldn't it? And I know that sounds crazy to you satanic Nazis again, but I didn't do the Nazi salute. And I didn't put the idea in your head of me being Pope or putting a gold statue of myself on the Holy Land. I don't make daily proclamations that impact all of our lives in the world as if I'm Caesar. That's the Reich. That's Donnie. That's the Nazis doing that. And the Satan stuff's pretty much in your face too. Remember Leon? Remember how cute he looked in his fake knight outfit with the Baphomet crest on the front. He didn't wear that for nothing, son. He wore that because that's what he worships. Donnie isn't talking about or putting the idea that he wants to be Pope, have gold statues of himself on the Holy Land and own Gaza. He's not doing those things because he's not a Satanist. The goats with the $100 bills, that's not being done because they're not Satanists. It's being done because they are. And it's known and it's accepted and it's practiced in that circle that Donnie and Roger Stone and all of them are in. And Leon. It's a thing to them. They believe in it. They believe it's the source of their whatever, success, power, whatever. I believe that too. That's why they'll never be good. Because they can't be. If they do, they don't get to be the prince anymore. The more evil they do, the more secure their place is at the top. I know it doesn't make sense to you. It will, don't worry. So when you hear phrases like satanic Nazi pedophile cult, yeah. And you help that. Everyone who has their name on it. All you people that allege to care about Pizzagate and all that bullshit. You didn't care about any of it. Because you're the hand of the movement. You're the mouthpiece of Satan. Helping people like Big Balls and Leon and Donnie get to where they need to go. And that's you worshiping them. That's where they need to go. So don't laugh at these phrases. Take this guy, Jim Stewartson, very seriously. He does great research. I enjoy his work. And he's helped me understand some things. He's just missing the one part that I understand. Because he doesn't want to walk through that door and trust. I don't blame so many of you for that because you see the church and what it does. Why would you want to be a part of it? But guess what? You don't have to go join a church. It can just be you, Jesus, and God the Father. You don't have to join jack fucking shit. And God will be totally cool with that. So I understand why it's so hard for so many of you to trust what you've seen, what the church has done, and that's church in quotes because ain't none of them been to the church. All these pedophiles and scumbags doing shit they shouldn't be doing, ain't none of them been to the church. They infiltrated the church, and the church protected them. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying here. Yes, Big Balls went prime time. Here's Jesse Waters. Again, this is the end game or end scene of your country. Jesse Waters introducing Big Balls, the guy who's dismantling and looting your country, who's a satanic Nazi. Along with Leon and Donnie and so many others. Big Balls, roots out, fraud and waste. That's a banner on Fox News. Unbelievable you people take any of this seriously. You put your name on this. You think this is going anywhere good, it's not. And Doge already has all your information. They've already sold it to whoever they want to sell it to. Leon's already got it in a nice list because he runs many businesses, and that kind of information is worth more than gold. I will give $1,000 to the first person to show me where in America gasoline is $1.98 a gallon. Why is she saying that? Well, because Donnie put this up today. Gasoline just broke $1.98 a gallon, lowest in years. Grocery and eggs down, energy down, mortgage rates down, employment strong. Much more good news as billions of dollars pour in from tariffs. Just like I said, we're only in a transition stage, just getting started. Consumers have been waiting for years to see pricing come down. No inflation. The Fed should lower its rate. Donald J. Trump. None of that's true. The Dow's still 4,000 down from where it was when Biden was president. Ports are empty. Gasoline isn't $1.98 anywhere in the fucking country. That's why that woman said that. I'll give you $1,000. You find $1.98 gas right now. Everything in there lies. Every single thing. That's the level of liar we're dealing with as he's grifting tariff money. Costs the market $10 trillion. Still 4,000 down from where it was. Back to Jim Stewartson. While the media focuses on Leon Scum's alleged departure from the White House, the Doge cancer he has inflicted continues to metastasize. Last night, cybercriminal teenager Edward Big Balls Korestein, whose grandfather was a KGB agent, went primetime. Yes, you sold your country out to Russia. I don't know if you know that as well. Again, not only are they Satanist Nazis, they're also in debt to Russia and aligned with Russia as well. So they're also traitors. I mean, again, these people are the lowest of the low scum that has ever been scummed in this planet. They're just pure fucking evil. And Karstein's one of the head motherfuckers as far as evil. The second I saw that person's face, the first picture I ever saw of them, I just saw a complete sociopath, just like Leon. A young guy trying to be Leon. Every young guy straight out of high school or that dropped out of college on this Doge Hitler youth team, they all want to be Leon. That's what they think's cool. That's what they think the right path in life is. They also think it's cool to dismantle and loot our country and hurt all of us. And they laugh about it. Teenage criminal and Doge's expert at OPM, Edward Big Balls Korestein, bears a striking resemblance to his Russian grandfather, who was a KGB agent executed by the Soviets in 1987 for cooperating with Reagan's CIA. So treachery and traitorship seems to run in the Trump family, runs in the Korestein family. They call Donnie Krasnov for a reason. Google the word Krasnov and see what comes up. You'll see a gentleman from Russia who the Russians look at as a traitor, tried to fight the government of Russia. His name was Krasnov. That's why they call Donnie Krasnov, because Donnie's a traitor to his country. And they don't respect traitors, so they give you the name of a traitor. That's why he's Donnie Krasnov. That's why they picked that name specifically. This is what the grandfather traitor to Russia looked like before he was executed, I guess. This photo again, I want you to look at it again. The White House posted this photo. That means it was intentional. That's a White House account. That's where they got the picture. Again, I've been telling you for months, he wants your worship. I know a lot of you think I'm crazy, right? This picture was intentional and it was designed just for you. This was not a fucking accident. That look on his face when he said, I'd like to be Pope. He got a big smile on his face. He was dead fucking serious, and he was hoping you all out there would be like, yes, we want Donnie as Pope. Just like he was hoping that so many people would show up at the Capitol on January 6th that his little coup would be successful. One more time. Look at it one more time. Again, this crazy guy sitting in the car with sunglasses, yelling on camera, been telling you this thing wants your worship. That's where all roads lead. Look where we are now. This intentional picture put out just for your consumption so you can get the idea of what you should be doing. You should be worshiping Donnie Shitbags. That's what the Reich is telling you. So I don't know. Maybe the crazy guy in the car with the sunglasses, maybe he was right. I don't know. Stephen Miller, a.k.a. Pee Wee German. And I never really, before I saw this joke, and I've seen it, it's been around for years, I never realized how much like Pee Wee Herman he looked. Kind of a similarity there. Because Miller's the ultimate Nazi. And why are we talking about Stephen Miller again? Now we know why Stephen Miller gave the press briefing, was it yesterday? All of a sudden out of nowhere, because they're going to give him a position in the cabinet, the Waltz position. The Signal chat app guy that got shit canned, and he's going to be an ambassador now. They're going to put Miller in that position. So they figured they'd unveil him again and let him do the press conference, and maybe he could charm the crowd or something, but Mr. Miller's incapable of charm. He's just a hateful, miserable Nazi. Satanist. Yes, Stephen Miller emerges as top contender for Trump's next national security advisor. That's from Axios, I believe. And that's what that looks like. So now you know why they unleashed him in the press room yesterday. And no one likes this guy. I don't think it was a smart move to have him do the press conference. He came off like he always comes off, as an insufferable douchebag full of hate. And I'm not fooled by any of this bullshit. I hope all of you out there aren't fooled. I mean, it's just so obvious. This is a Reich. I know exactly what they're going to do, exactly where this is going. They ain't even hiding it that well. They're pretty obvious with what they're doing. So Miller doesn't fool me. None of these people fool me. Oh, if you decide to become a terrorist and attack the Capitol, your family could make $30 million. Did you know that? 100 plus days in the Trump administration, Justice Department, and estate of Ashley Babbitt reached settlement in principle in Babbitt Estate's $30 million suit. So Ashley may get as much as $30 million. Maybe they'll throw her 100. I mean, who cares? It's your money, right? It's not Donnie's money. It's yours. So how do you feel about your tax money being given to the family of a literal traitor to your country, someone who tried to break through a door to get to congressmen so the mob could kill them? That person got shot in the process, which any of us should be shot in that process, honestly. That's what's supposed to happen. So a man did his job. He stopped the crowd from coming in because they broke the window and they were about to get in to where the congressmen were. And he popped a shot off. And it hit Ashley, and she's dead now. Does she deserve money for that? Does her family deserve money for that from the government as she was attempting to overthrow it? Absolutely fucking not. That's a terrorist. Why are we paying them money? That's a traitor to our country. Why are we paying them money? Again, it's just another indicator of just how lost we are now. We're so far over now. And it's never coming back. We're rewarding a woman's family that tried to overthrow the government. We watched it on television. We watched her death on television. I don't know. They got a lot of nerve even bringing the suit. What does that say about her parents or her family, whoever sued? You have a lot of nerve. Forget about the fact that you can get the money from the dictator who tried to overthrow the government along with your daughter. Forget about that. Why do you want the money? You want to be rewarded for her treachery, for her treason against her nation. That's where we are. We're paying terrorists' families who died in the process of their terrorism. We're paying them $30 million of your money, of course, never Donnie's money, ever. This person, Shiloh Hendricks, I wasn't even going to talk about this bitch because I could just so care less, but the post was right next to the Ashley Babbitt post, and I'm like, well, maybe someone's trying to tell me something here. Because again, it's another indicator of where our society's at. What happened with this woman? She claims a young black child stole something out of the diaper bag that she brought for her child. So she went over to that child and called that child the N-word. A man from Somalia, I believe, heard it and started filming. And he kept asking her, did you just call him the N-word? You say it again. So she repeats the word 3-4 more times, and she wags her tongue as if she's the devil. She mocks the whole situation, and she says the N-word 3 or 4 more times. So then she put up a GoFundMe or whatever it's called. And it's not a GoFundMe, it's one of those other ones. I'll read a little bit of info about it. And at last I heard the GoFundMe thing. I know it's not actually a GoFundMe, but the collection is at $400-some thousand. I imagine it's even higher now. So this is where our society is at. This woman who called a small black child the N-word. I understand if the child took something out of the diaper bag, okay, I understand a mother being upset about that, maybe wanting to get that item back, maybe yelling at the child, maybe saying something. Why does race have to come into it? That's the real question. Not necessary. That's if that event even happened. I don't know. Because this woman don't seem on the up and up to me. So she brings race into it because she's a straight up Nazi. You can tell by the tattoos, her whole demeanor, everything. And she's rewarded by our society for it to the tune. She's trying to raise $1 million. Her first goal was 250,000. Her premise is that she's in danger and she has to leave town and move somewhere else. So again, we rewarded this woman and her family with taxpayer money to the tune of millions because she decided it was a good idea at the behest of a traitor called Donnie Shitbags to try and go kill congressmen. Because that's the door she and the mob were at. That's why she got shot. Because if they would have gotten through that door on the other side were congressmen and they would have been killed, I know that. So we're at the point again in the Reich, in our society, in the downfall of America, because we're done, baby. We're done. Where this traitor and her family get rewarded with tens of millions of dollars of your money. You know, all the people in the crowd there that hate socialism, and Donnie hates socialism. No one wants a handout, right? So we're at the point in society, again, a traitor who damn near got to be able to lay her hands on some congressmen as she's trying to overthrow the government. Tens of millions of dollars of your tax money will go to that person, or excuse me, her family, because she's deceased. And we're also at the point where we reward a woman for calling a small child the N-word. We reward that person with at least $500,000, if not $1 million or $2 million. But anyway, yeah, she started off asking for $250,000. She hit that goal. Hey, might as well make it $1 million, right? Why not really cash in on this thing? Yeah, this is when she upped it to $1 million right here. It was at $327,000 at this point. That's what it looks like. Very classy broad here. Love the hand tattoos, very classy. Campaign created by Shiloh Hendricks. Asking for $1 million, raised $327,000 at this point. A person asked her, if I can find the comment, here it is. The white woman, this is a person that's wondering about her, wondering whether to send money, I guess, looking at the whole situation. This white woman is definitely legit. And the woman in the video, she messaged me because she felt I was trustworthy, and she was right. I told her to post my username and say the N-word, and do a voice message saying my username and explaining what happened. So they wanted verification that this was the right person, because she wanted to make sure she got the money, and she wanted to make sure that you all out there in Rubland knew exactly that it was her GoFundMe. She was the real person, the real woman in the video. She felt the need to prove that to you. You know why? Because she wanted to make sure your money came in as fast as possible and you knew it was the right person. So this was a money-making scheme for her from second one. I don't even think there was probably much time for her to get threatened or harassed. It sounds like the second this happened, she had her mind made up to immediately go make a, whatever it's called, a GoFundMe, whatever. So she also felt the need, she took it a step further. I need to verify my identity for the masses so they can send me that money immediately. And because they'll all have the satisfaction, the sense of peace of knowing the money's going to me. And this is what that looks like when she held up the note with this screen name and the word. That's her verification piece. So all you racist fuck Nazis out there that think she's, Princess Nazi now, will know your money's going to the right place. I'm thinking it's going to the local liquor store, most of it, and probably a meth lab. That's probably where most of the money's going to go. I wonder if she'll actually get another place to live in another town, or she'll just stay where she is and just buy booze and drugs. I wonder. I guess we'll have to wait and see and find out what great use she put your money to. Help me protect my family. My name is Shiloh, and I've been put in a very dire situation. I have been put in a dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man who recently found out has had a history with law enforcement proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted the videos, which caused my family and myself great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. No, it hasn't. My address, no. Your phone number, no. Have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. No, they're not. My eldest child may not be going back to school, even where exercise has been exposed. Really? It doesn't sound like she even got threatened once for real, actually. I think she made up a lot of this. And wow, that's a lot to happen in the short time between her calling the kid the N-word and her putting the GoFundMe up. Not a lot of time went by for all of those things she's talking about to happen. But I can tell she's a complete bullshitter and liar. I called the kid out for what he is. So again, as a society, we're rewarding a woman who calls a small child the N-word, and we're rewarding a woman's family who tried to overthrow our government to make Donnie Shitbags a dictator, who was an inch away of grabbing some congressmen, actually. It's over. I'm sorry. It's just so over. There's also another piece of scripture, nation against nation. When you take it back to the Greek, it's ethnos against ethnos. That's what's supposed to be going on at the end times. During the apocalypse. In this country, as long as I've been alive, I haven't seen the ethnos against ethnos thing this hot in my entire lifetime. I was born in the 70s. Grew up in the 80s mostly. I've never seen it this bad. And this is the proof. This woman's being rewarded. She'll probably be a millionaire because she did an outright display of abject racism on camera in America in 2025. This other woman did an abject display of treason against our nation. And attempted murder, actually. Because I know exactly what she would have been doing if she got in the room. And we reward her family with your money, tax money, to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. We're just so over. I'm sorry. Again, that's why I'm here. I'm your guide through it until the Reich executes me. Race incident in Rochester involving slurs against little boy goes viral. Alleged offender has raised $100,000 to relocate. No, she's raised at least $450,000 at this point. I bet it's higher than that now. Her goal is $1 million. America is over. I'm sorry. Here's some of her history, since she wants to talk about the Somali man's history, and I've heard some things about him. They're already attacking him. They're already saying he has a history with minors and this and that. I don't know what's true about the man. He may have a record. I don't give a fuck. That's irrelevant to this situation. The man that filmed it. I don't give a fuck what his background is. Don't even throw it at me. I care about the things that are relevant in the situation, which is the woman that said the words and the woman that's collecting the money, the woman who had no problem saying the Somali man has a jacket with law enforcement. This is what she has, because I guess people have been looking at it. I won't say her date of birth. That's not necessary. Driving while intoxicated, 3-degree, 0.08 or more. Traffic driving while intoxicated. Operate motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. Traffic driving while intoxicated. Operating a motor vehicle, alcohol concentration 0.08 within 2 hours. Disorderly conduct, petty misdemeanor. Brawling or fighting, probation violation. So this bitch she been in and out the pen a little bit too. She has drunk driving incidents. So I guess a lot of your money will be going to booze. That's one place. I can tell she probably does certain drugs too. I assume she'll probably get, a meth dealer will get a lot of that money as well. This isn't the type of woman that's going to handle the money well. It's going to make her life even more chaotic and fucked up than it already is, I'm sure. So now you know a little bit about her history. She likes to drive drunk. She likes to get disorderly. And she likes to call little black kids the N-word. That's Shiloh. And here's a message about Trump. But before I read it, let me light a ciggy real quick. And this is kind of what I've been trying to tell you for months as well. Trump isn't going to be impeached. He's not going to prison. And Republicans aren't going to stand up to him. He's not joking about a third term, the Panama Canal, Greenland, or Canada. He doesn't care about free speech, due process, religious freedom, or checks and balances. He's threatening governors, universities, media outlets, and corporations that don't fall in line and do exactly what he wants. He's having judges arrested, deporting U.S. citizens, and ignoring a ruling from the Supreme Court because they were dumb enough to give him immunity. So I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but this problem isn't going to be solved during the next election cycle, because at this rate, there won't be one. Does anyone have a plan B? Indeed, this is what I've been telling you. There's not going to be elections. And even if there are elections, they will be so rigged, Donnie will probably get 80% of the vote or 90 like Vlad does. It's over. This country's over. They're never giving it back to you. I'm sorry. And that's why it's going to take that supernatural thing at the end to stop all this. Because you won't be capable. We won't be capable. So it's got to play out, and no, just crossing your fingers and we just got to make it to midterms. Nope. Sorry. It's not going to be that easy. In fact, it's going to be quite terrible. So wait until 2028, hoping we can vote, Gavin Newsom in or some bullshit, or AOC or whatever. Nope. Never. Not going to happen. And again, I take no joy in saying these things. I'm just trying to guide you through it, like I said. .2 earthquake hits Peru today, so that's another little earthquake that happened. I'm just keeping an eye on some of them, not all of them. I don't want to spend my whole night reading earthquake information and stuff like that to you people. I'm doing it so you'll go out on your own and maybe take a look at the earthquakes and stuff like that for your own kind of, gauge on where we're at. That's one of the things you should be looking at, earthquakes specifically. Oh my God, this story. The video, they don't show the full video. They show her kind of walking towards the car, this crazy woman. This is a Delco, Pennsylvania woman. I'm not going to even say her name. Believe me, you'll all know her name very soon. That had road rage and got out of her car and shit on the hood of the other person's car. Was arrested, and surprise, surprise, she's a registered Republican and voted for Trump. I don't care about that she's a registered Republican or that she voted for Trump. I care about that she's fucking crazy. And again, you get in a road rage incident with someone. You walk up to the hood of their car. As she's walking towards the car, by the way, you can see her like lifting her dress up. She's starting to lift her dress as she's walking. Then the footage is blurred out because they don't want to show the actual incident. She shits on the hood and walks right back away. How does one do that? I thought to myself when I first heard it, how do you, in a moment of rage, in an argument or a dispute with another human being out here in the ether, you have the ability to shit on command? Or she was on her way to take a shit and it was already queued up. But if she does have this ability, could you imagine? I don't even understand how you would do it. I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be able to do the business right out in the open on a car hood with a person I'm in a dispute with? Would you be even capable? That's what baffles me about this woman. Is she an alien or something? Is she from another planet? Because most humans, no matter how like tough they are, I don't know if they'd have the ability to get out of their car quickly during a road rage, get over to the hood of the other person's car, get that feces out in a quick manner, and then walk away quickly. That's impressive command of the colon and bowels and all that. I didn't know people could just shit on command like that. And I'm sorry, this story just fascinates me. I just don't understand how it's possible. And again, I guess because it's the apocalypse. Where else would you hear? When else would you hear stories like this? What would you do in that? Let's say you're the person in the other car and you're watching this woman walk towards your car, lifting up her dress, and she takes a shit on your hood. What do you even do about that? How do you react to that? Do you call the police and say, a woman just shat on my fucking hood? What do you do? It's such a strange situation. But again, the thing that really gets me is the ability in a rageful, tense situation to just make it happen. To be able to like shit on command like Dave England or something. I forgot about him. You probably don't know who he is, but if you don't know who Dave England is, you better ask somebody. He's the champion of public defecation under tense situation. He went into a fucking hardware store. Remember in the old days how hardware stores had like the toilets lined up on the ground? Went into a hardware store, pulled his pants down, took a shit in an unplumbed toilet that's just sitting on the ground. Got up, walked out of the store, and you see one of the people that work there come over and look at it, and they're disgusted. Hilarious, hilarious. Anyway, back to the apocalypse. Trump asked Supreme Court to let Doge view Social Security data. So Donnie really wants Doge to see that Social Security data. But here's the thing. Doge already has all that data. They've already been in the systems. That day is long past. Doge has all the information, the nuclear secrets, everything. And Vlad probably has almost all of it, if not all of it. It's over. None of these judges making these rulings. Doge can't see it now. They've already seen it, son. They've seen it. They've made copies. They've installed backdoors, AI. They've given the information to the Russians. That's where we at. Oh, I thought this picture was amazing, and it's so true to who these people are. That's Donnie and Leon. Leon's playing some video games. Check them out. Little pizza. Got Donnie there sleeping with the remote because Donnie's old school. He's not trying to play video games. You know, he wants to flip channels on the TV, hit OANN, hit Newsmax, hit Fox, see who's paying him the most tribute. And then maybe they get a press seat in the White House or something for a couple million. This is exactly who these two people are. It's an amazing picture. Well done by the person that did this. Oh, here's Miss Shiloh again. And I took pictures throughout the day. It's what the site is called Give, Send, Go. not GoFundMe. So that's the site she went to. And at this point, her shit was at 420,000. Once it hit 250, that was her original goal, I believe. She raised it to $1 million. You see the goal there at the top, $1 million. I imagine by tomorrow morning she'll have surpassed that $1 million. And that's why we've lost our country, son. Because enough people think she's great, she's cool, she's what they identify with, that they're willing to send her probably over $1 million. Who knows? She may get a Congress job out of this like Bobo. I'm not joking either. The geriatrics think this woman is a goddess, okay? She's not. But to them, people that think Bobo is hot, people that think Sarah Palin is hot or was hot, they're the same people looking at her, and that's like, you know, the hottest thing on the planet to them. I imagine that's why so much money is rolling in as fast as it is. You got a bunch of old racist geriatrics who think this girl is, you know, Christy fucking Brinkley, when she's not. I've seen many photos of this person. They ain't no Christy Brinkley, let me tell you something. But the geriatrics, again, they look at someone like her and she's the hottest thing ever. Bobo's the hottest thing ever. Gnome, Christy Gnome is her name, I think. They think she's the hottest thing. None of them look even remotely good. So I'm sure how she looks to the rubes, to the geriatrics that think that kind of girl is hot, is helping with the collection, I'm sure. This is Rubio getting in a literal fight with the German Foreign Office. Because Rubio, little Marco, says this: Germany just gave its spy agency new powers to surveil the opposition. That's not democracy, it's tyranny in disguise. And what he's talking about is the Nazi party in Germany. Germany's trying to do away with them. What is truly extremist is not the popular AfD, which took second in recent election, but rather the establishment's deadly open border immigration policy. So the same lies about Germany, the same lies here, to get Russian assets in charge. And that's what the AfD party is as well. They're not just Nazis in Germany. They're Russian assets as well. Just like Carney's opposition, Poliver, Russian asset. I could go on and on, different countries. So Mr. Rubio, who the Reich would have gassed back in the day because he wasn't pure Aryan white, is shilling for the German Nazi, the current Nazi party, which is the AfD. So you heard Rubio's propaganda here that we've heard about America 150 times. They're not creative people. They use the same lies everywhere and for everything. So this is the German Foreign Office legit confirmed gray checkmark account, okay? This is democracy. This decision is the result of a thorough and independent investigation to protect our Constitution and the rule of law. It is independent courts that will have the final say. We have learnt from our history that right-wing extremism needs to be stopped. What are they saying there? They're calling the Nazis, they're calling Adolf Hitler. The government of Germany is calling the Nazi movement and Adolf Hitler's Reich and all that, they're calling that right-wing extremism. What have I described the Nazi regime to you people? As the parrots, as the seals, as the sheep cry socialism every time Hitler's name is brought up, that he was a socialist. Even Leon tells that lie. Thale tells that lie. They tell it for a reason. because they want you to think the Nazi movement was a liberal movement, and yet the liberals were the first ones locked up children. So I've always described, one, Hitler was, it was a fascist movement, a white nationalist movement. But politically, what was it? Right-wing nationalism, just like we have here, right now. Just like the Republican Party's been for decades and decades. That's all Nazi Germany was. It was a right-wing movement, a nationalist movement, had nothing to do with socialism. In fact, they locked the socialists up first. So I'm so happy to see the German government, who is the authority on this, call the movement right-wing extremism. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what the AfD is. That's exactly what the Reich is here. Donnie, Leon, the whole GOP. Right-wing extremism. Right-wing nationalism. White nationalism. Fascism. Just like Adolf. And now you don't just have to take my word for it. You can take the German government's word that it was a right-wing nationalist movement. Thank you, German government. And they're the authority more than I am, more than any of you scholars out there are. They are. And they ain't playing with this Nazi bullshit. And who gives a fuck what little Marco says, honestly, about it, as he's literally shilling for a Reich, again, that would kill that man because he ain't white, pure Aryan. I don't know who's worse. The white supremacist Nazis at the top of this movement that believe the ideology and are working to make it happen, or the minority people that are taking part in the movement, because what they're doing on top of everything else is betraying their own people, betraying their ethnicity. I don't know who's worse, because they're both pretty fucking bad. We come to the end, finally. Okay, the other day, Donnie said he wanted to be Pope. Right out loud in front of the cameras, the reporters, right on the White House lawn. What do you think about the next Pope? Oh, the Pope? The Pope? I'd like to be Pope. I'm the first person that comes to mind. Then you saw the worship picture today that I showed you of the man kneeling with all the fake Christians surrounding Donnie, kneeling before Donnie as if they're worshiping him. Donnie says he runs the country now and the world this second time around. He said that. Gold Donnie statues on the Holy Land. We saw it in the commercial. Donnie has not rebuked that commercial. In fact, he probably helped make it. We will own Gaza, Donnie said out loud. We will own it. Freedom zone. American troops. Gazans gone. We will own the Holy Land. We will own it, he said. Then today, at the end of the day, he posted that. Someone that understands Donnie's psyche like me, I knew he was serious when he said, I want to be Pope. I also knew he was serious because I know he's the Antichrist based on the knowledge I have. And that worship is the end goal of all. It's the destination on the road we're on. The final destination for all of us. And I've been telling you this man desires worship for months, and they're going to ask you to worship him. So he's president of the United States. He says he runs the world out loud. And then the Pope dies, and now he wants to be Pope. Do you hear me? I told you the man would want worship. I told you in advance. So he says, I'd like to be Pope in front of the press the other day. And no, he wasn't joking. He was putting his foot in the water to see if the water was warm, to see what you people would say about it. Would you accept it? Would you run with the idea? That's a child, his psyche. I know exactly what he was doing. Now, days later, after the worship picture, which was taken intentionally, that man kneeling before Donnie with the fake Christians all around him, I showed you 8 times tonight. He's showing you what he wants from you, what he expects from you. And he's going to show you that more and more until he outright asks you to worship him. Take his mark, use his money, blah, blah, blah. With the 666 on it, by the way. Again, the letter F, count it out. It's fight, fight, fight written 3 times. The letter F, what does that correspond to numerically when you count it on your fingers? A, B, C, D, E, F. And then remember it's there 3 times. So now again, days later, he's putting this idea before you again, throwing it out there again. He wants us all to get on social media and on the news and yell for Donnie to become Pope. That's what he's hoping would happen with this. He is not joking with this. He is not trolling with this. He's not trying to make the libs mad. Many liberals don't give a fuck about religion anyway. He's showing you the desire in his dead heart. He said he'd like to be Pope the other day. And again, even I was surprised by that. And again, you've been watching this crazy guy on YouTube for months now, saying this man's going to make you worship him. That's where all the roads lead. Here's the second time. He is putting forth the idea of himself being Pope. Not somebody else. Him. Lindsey Graham the other day when Donnie put the idea out there, said he'd like to be Pope. Lindsey co-signed it, wrote a whole long post about the advantages of having a Pope/president. None of this is remotely normal, son. I'm telling you it's the apocalypse. I'm telling you they're trying to form a Reich. I'm telling you Donnie thinks he's Caesar. He thinks that federal money's his. Anyone that needs to do business on this planet is supposed to pay him tribute. That's how he looks at it. Anyone who wants to go through the Suez, pay him. The Panama, pay him. Annex Canada, Greenland, own Gaza, gold Donnie statues. I show you a picture of a gentleman kneeling before him with the fake Christians all around him, as if he's worshiping him. And then you see this, that Donnie posted himself. The Antichrist wants to be Pope. I didn't see this one coming. And again, when people made jokes about it, oh, he'll probably say he wants to be Pope, or he'll put that idea out there. I'm like, nah, he wouldn't do that. Even the Antichrist wouldn't do that. Yep. What am I trying to say to you, good people? Again, another proclamation I made, another prediction I made months ago. Right on camera, right on this website, to you people. You're watching it come true. I said he wants your worship. I said he would ask you for that. I said he would want to mark you. And you'll need that mark to take part in society the same way you need a social security number or whatever. Without it, you won't be able to participate. And again, you can't be tricked into it. But they're going to ask you to worship this thing. And via him, you will be worshiping Satan. And you will be irredeemable once you take the mark. Again, what other president has done this? None of them. None of the ones you hate. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, even though she wasn't president, Barack Obama, Al Gore. You notice none of them are talking about being Pope, right? And they're not even president. No, the guy I told you would demand your worship and try and give you a mark and make you worship him. He's the one doing it. The guy who wants to annex everything that isn't nailed down. The guy that wants to own Gaza and build a Trump Gaza resort. Again, another proclamation I made. You're watching it come truer and truer and truer every day. Out of his own mouth. Not other people saying it. Him saying it. I wonder what it's going to take for you to believe when the temple starts being built on the Temple Mount. Will you believe then? And that's Donnie and Bibi that are going to do that. I told you in advance. Not 30 years from now. Donnie and Bibi during this Reich. You see him coveting that worship more and more. The round table cabinet Reich meetings where they all praise him. You're seeing that coveting of worship more and more and more in your face. To the point he said, I'd like to be Pope. And he's put pictures of himself up. So again, I make these proclamations or predictions. So when you see them come true, maybe that'll help you decide something. And eventually, again, where this is going to go, you're going to have a mark that's required to take part in society. There will be no more cash. There will be Donnie coin with the 666 on it. Fight, fight, fight on it. If you take that mark, you are dead. Forever. Your existence will no longer exist. You'll be nothing. Irredeemable. There is no I'm sorry. There is no Father forgive me. There's no say 8 Hail Marys. Nope. Over. Again. That's why the crazy guy with the sunglasses is on here yelling every fucking night. And I keep getting proven more and more right. Do I want to be proven right? No. So I ain't happy about it. I ain't proud about it. I'm not promoting myself as a fucking prophet or something. I just have the cliff notes, and I've studied a lot of years, and I have a few feelings here and there. While you people were doing all the other things, raising kids, paying mortgages, I was studying things, learning things. Does that make me better than you? Absolutely not. This makes me different than you, that's all. That's why I know these things and you don't. That's all. But I am here to guide you through it till the Reich executes me. So, again, when that mark comes around, as more and more worship is put in your face of a man, I hope you remember some of the words I said. And you get that chill up your spine and you know not to take that, because that'll be the end of you. Until the next episode, have a wonderful evening.